Hi, so yes, the title is true. I tried online dating for a year, I believe it was, and this is what happened. So initially I was single and for 30 years actually, for 30 years single. And I thought to myself, let me get myself out there, let me put myself on dating apps to see what can happen and what could change, because I was really tired of being single. I was really bored of it and it just wasn't a bit of me anymore. And so I went on a dating app, and I went on a few. I went on the main ones like Tinder, Bumble, OkCupid and all that jazz. But I think that all stems from me being quite insecure in myself, and I think I was seeking validation from men on these apps. And yeah, but luckily it ended up all right for me. I know it doesn't for some, but it ended up all right for me because now I'm with my partner for 6 months now and it's been going well. But anyway, I want to take you guys back to the very beginning, to what led me to getting on dating apps, how I navigated them, the dating scene on these apps, and yeah, just how everything came about with my loved one at the moment as well. It's a very juicy story. And I feel like we should start from when I was a bit younger. So some of you can relate to this, you know, a lot of the time I was excluded, in terms of like isolated and just the black sheep of the family, or even when I was like bullied in school and stuff like that. So it really affected my confidence, it really affected me and my perception on men, because the men that sort of bullied me and teased me and pushed me to the side were either in my family or maybe at school who bullied me and stuff like that. So it really changed my perspective on men, and I thought they were just bullies, nasty, cheats, scum, and I had just a negative perspective on them. And so it made me gravitate to more women in my life, not in a way where I was gay or anything. I'm not gay, but it made me seek validation and friendships and love from women and girls and friends, and more so than anything else. And I really was far away from males in general. And I know some of you guys can relate to this, some of you can't. I grew up in 3 all-girl schools and things of that nature, so yeah, I had a really negative perspective on them. And so when it came to the dating apps, when I did try a few dating apps, I was on there just so that I can feel loved and wanted by them, by men, and secure through them and seeking validation through them and things like that. And so it was really unhealthy. And so I did that for a while. I was on and off dating apps since I was 25 actually, but I was on it properly for almost a year, come last year till now, so 2023 till now. And yeah, there's a lot of things to say about those apps, because a lot of the times the men on there just are there for one thing and one thing only. And even my partner said and admitted that he was on there for one thing and one thing only at the time. But then when he found me, he thought, oh, you know, there's a gem in here, there's a gem in this girl, sort of thing. So, and to be honest, I was on there for love, I was on there for true connection. But after a while, when I realized that the men were only there for one thing and one thing only, it literally put me off. And I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna start being on here for anything, for one thing and one thing only as well. And so yeah, after that I opened up more dating apps so that I can seek validation from men. And I remember fishing for compliments on there, and you know, oh, what do you think about this picture of me? What do you think about that picture of me? Do you think I'm pretty? Do you think I'm beautiful? And I was just seeking that validation. So I was on there for the wrong reasons, because I felt a void and I felt insecure. And I already had a negative perspective of men, but I was still seeking that love from them that I didn't get from family members or, you know, men that I grew up with, really. Always being pushed aside and the black sheep, as I said. And like I said, just to reiterate, I was dating these men that I wasn't even attracted to. Like, I was going on dates and meeting up with them like I wasn't even into them. And I was going on dates with them, which was quite low, to be honest, on my behalf, because a lot of, like, why would you go out with someone who you're not into? That all boils down to not loving yourself and not feeling a high level of esteem for yourself, you know. So that's what I was battling within myself, is a lack of self-love. And I'm not justifying, but I'm just saying that sometimes when you come from a broken past, you do broken things up until the time where you're fixed, up until the time you fix yourself or you meet someone to help fix you. And then I remember I got into the point where I was taking like manifestation really seriously, and because I believe in, I create my own reality. I create, and we all create our own reality, the pen's in our hands sort of thing. I don't believe that we have to leave it to God or leave it to the universe entirely. I believe that we also play a part in how our life pans out. And so I remember I scripted and I wrote down exactly what I wanted in my man and stuff like that. I visualized. My sister makes jokes out of it. She's like, Aridja, you were really visualizing them times. And I was like, yeah, I was visualizing. I closed my eyes and I picture what I wanted. I picture the kind of man I want, where I want to live with him, children, marriage, all that jazz. And yeah, I even had a vision board of a romance, a picture of two people in love, should I say. I had all of that, and yeah, it was just, I just thought, you know what, I'm gonna try this out. I'm gonna try this manifestation thing out and see how it works and see how it pans out for me. And lo and behold, I was on a dating app. Should I say which one? I'll say which one. It's called, I'm not trying to promote them. You can go on it, you know, with your own free will, or if you must, or, you know, at your own risk, should I say. I was on it and I found that on that dating app, I got way more attention than other ones. Tinder and all that, Bumble, I didn't really get much, but on this particular one I got way more attention. They liked my pictures, they liked, you know, they liked what they saw, and so I was craving that, like I said, you know, that justification, that validation. And then I remember this guy popped up and was talking to me, and it was Christmas Eve, I believe it was, and I was doing last minute Christmas shopping with my sister at the local Lidl, and he popped up and he was like, oh hi, you know, Merry Christmas and all that. And I was just like, I was talking to someone else at the same time. I wasn't talking to someone else was talking to me at the same time. So I was just like, you know, in dating apps you're juggling so many different conversations, and so we were all just talking. I was talking to this guy and then I was talking to him, and then he mentioned something about my country, and I was like, oh, that's impressive, because he's obviously, I'm into white guys, and he's a white man, a white English man, and he popped up saying something about my country and stuff, and I was like, oh, that's interesting, you know, about that. I was like, yeah, I'm Congolese, Kinshasa and all that, the capital city of Congo. We were talking about that and it was nice. And then he asked me for my number, and first I was like, I don't really know. He said something really sweet, and then I was like, you know what, you can have my number. And then he texted me like a paragraph that was a Merry Christmas, I hope you have a good Christmas, or something like that. It's probably still on one of our phones. And I was just like, I sort of didn't really pay much attention. And then he was like, you know, I really want to meet you. And then I was like, I don't really know, because it's obviously Boxing Day. I don't know, I just made up excuses. I just wasn't feeling it. I think because I felt washed out from all the other men that I, you know, had dated, whatever. On the apps, of course, because obviously I was single during this time, single for 30 years, and yeah, I just thought maybe not. But then he proper said, no, look, come on, you know. He got me to delete all the apps because it's a thing where I was on it for the wrong reasons, and he could see that, and he was like, look, this isn't good for you, this isn't healthy, delete, focus on me. And I love that he sort of took control like a man should. And yeah, so I ended up deleting the apps because I thought, you know what, you're right, this is just too much now, dating apps, seeking validation from men that I didn't even know. It's not healthy, is it? So yeah, and then we met on Boxing Day. We spent Christmas just texting and calling and stuff. Haven't met each other yet. Met on Boxing Day. I was like, wait, hold on, you're a bit of me. Like, you look better in person. Obviously his pictures weren't bad, but better in person, and he thought the same of me. Took me to a bar in Liverpool Street. Took me to, where else did we go? yeah, took me to a bar in Liverpool Street. We entered the photo booth, took some pictures. I still got those pictures, memories forever. I think he knew, like when he saw me, he said to himself, this is the one. Like, so those pictures, he probably did it intentionally, knowing that this will be a souvenir forever to show our kids and stuff. And yeah, so it's lovely. And then from there, like there were so many little bits and pieces that he did that was so like heartwarming and wholesome, like fixing my shoe, my heel when it came off, or buying me perfume, or for Christmas, which I don't get gifts, you know, I hardly get gifts, whether it was buying my, like giving me his card to buy my drink, I don't know, like little things like that. It's just like, it was just so, there's little thoughtful things, it was just like so lovely. And I remember I wrote it down, and I believe I still have it in my notes somewhere on my laptop, but there were so many things that he did that was so sweet. And yeah, I remember, even though it was all sun and rainbows at first, it was very much, I was hard work. I can't lie to you guys, I was hard work. Like my past was still haunting me, like my past with my negative perceptions on men, me getting pushed aside by men in my family, and you know, all of that. I know it's old news, but it was still ruminating in my mind, and so I projected it onto him. And so he was getting frustrated. He was like, what is this? Like, all he's doing is trying to love me, and I just didn't. I had to touch a wall up, a brick wall up, that I wouldn't let anyone or him love me. And yeah, until he sort of helped me to see things clearer and understand that I need to love myself, and help me love myself, help me affirm myself, and help me to, yeah, just let go of that wall and allow love in, and not giving up on me as well. That's a big thing. He never did. He never gave up on me. So it was just consistency of loving me even when I was at my worst, and he's seen me at my worst, crying, all that jazz that I've never done in years, or to people that are even close to me, because it's a taboo, you know. So it's like, yeah, he just really, yeah, showed me how to love, and for forever I'll be always grateful for that. So, and now it's 6 months later down the line, and it's just getting more and more serious, and more fun, and more lovely and loving, and I couldn't ask for the best partner. So the moral of the story is, give dating apps a chance. You never know who you'll find. There are some gems in there. I know that it can be frustrating, and it could be a thing where they just want you for one thing, especially if you're into white guys and you're a black woman, or you're an Asian woman, you're into white guys, or you're a white woman into black guys. Sometimes with interracial connections, you might think, oh, they just want to sample me, you know, as a woman, you might think that, but sometimes they are genuine, you know. I don't know the extent of how many, as in the percentage, but I know that there's some men that are genuine out there. And don't look at men in a negative perspective. Give dating apps a go. You will find the gems in there, and yeah, it can just completely change your life, and it's changed mine inwardly and outwardly as well. What I see for myself has completely changed. Me with children, me married, me, like, it's still a bit surreal and bizarre in my head, but it's a reality now that I'm walking into it, happily walking into. So yes, you never know. And no matter your age, obviously you need to be of an age of consent and of an age of 18 plus to be on these apps, by the way, disclaimer. But you could be 40, 50, 60, 70. Love is for everyone, and it's a thing where you can find them through not just dating apps, but at a wedding or at a venue or at an event. But the point is, put yourself out there, put yourself outside of your comfort zone, do new things, try new things, put yourself where men that you're attracted to are, and try it and give it a go if you are searching for love, if you are searching for something new. And yes, that is all I have for you today. I will catch you in another video of mine, and I hope you like this video. I've been your girl Aridja, and I'll see you next time. Make sure you click on the videos on the screen where you can watch even more of my videos. And yeah, I have a podcast coming soon. Don't worry about that. All right, guys, I'll see you later.